So I'm going to play you one more tune before the break, and then we're going to take about a 15-20 minute break or so. And just get the guitar and tune first. There we go. So the tune I'm going to play for you is one of the tunes I wrote after one of my many travels around the world. I'm lucky to be able to travel around playing music as a career. It has obviously was very difficult for the last 2 years during the pandemic and everything. But it's nice to be back and travelling and touring again and remembering how bad airplane food really is. And I've been lucky to be able to travel all over North America and all over Europe. And before the events of the current day, I travelled to Russia in 2019 and I did a concert tour there. Started off in St. Petersburg and I went the length of the Trans-Siberian Railway down to the border with Kazakhstan. That's what I used as my tour bus, essentially. And so I started off in St. Petersburg and Moscow and Ekaterinburg and all the way down to about Kazakhstan. And then flew back to Moscow for a final gig from there. But I learned a very important lesson that day about performing. The very first gig I did in St. Petersburg, I thought it'd be a really good idea to get a translator for my show. And yeah, not the best idea in the world. No one tells you that, because I showed up to the first gig and my tour manager at the time, a guy named Pasha, a good friend of mine who lives in Sweden, he said, we should get a translator for the gig. So I said, okay, yeah, let's do that. And so we booked a guy, hired a guy, and arrived to the first gig in St. Petersburg. It was kind of a nice little concert hall, kind of 200 people kind of thing. And I was feeling in really good form, and this guy came in backstage, and I said, hey, my name is Shane, and do you understand me? Do you understand the way I speak English? And he said, yes. And I said, great, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to speak, and then you're going to translate into Russian off the side of the stage and the microphone. And the audience will understand, and we'll just do a bit of back and forth like that. Does that work for you? And he said, yes. I said, great, we're not going to have a problem. Famous last words. Go out onto the stage, and the lights go down, walk out, and applause, and I walk out, and I'm full of energy. So I go, hello, St. Petersburg, I'm Shane Hennessy, I'm delighted to be here. Waiting, and eventually over the tannoy system it comes. This guy sucked the life out of the room, syllable by syllable. All the good mood that was created was just evaporated. And the worst part was that the more boring he was, the more I tried to kind of zhuzh up the audience, the more, So I come out and I'm like, is everybody having a good time here tonight? So we fired him after the first gig. We got rid of him. I said, I'm going to do it sign language from here on in. And then, unfortunately, even worse than that, my tour manager, some of you may have heard me tell that story before, but you've never heard this part of it. When we were in Moscow, I wanted a particular sentence translated. I said to my tour manager, I want to tell the people, that good music should move you in 3 places. It should move you in your head, because, you're interested in the kind of maybe the technical side of it, or maybe you're interested in how it's put together. It should move you in your heart. You should be able to feel the music. And it should move you in your backside, your rear end, because it makes you want to dance, right? You see where this is going? I said to him, what's, for example, a way your grandfather might say rear end? But I don't know what kind of grandfather this guy had. Because the word that he taught me, I went up on the stage in Moscow and I said, good music should move you in 3 places. In your head, in your heart, and in your perdak. And the audience went, oh. And I said, what have I said? So if you'd like to find out what that means, come and see me out the back after that. I'm going to play you a piece of music that's very special to me. It's the title track of my second album, written after an amazing trip to an amazing country. This is a piece of music called Marrakech. Hope you really enjoy it. I based this on my first time in Marrakech, listening to the call to prayer, opening my window at 5:30 in the morning and listening outside and hearing that gorgeous prayer. And I had my guitar with me in the hotel, so I picked it up and tried to use it as inspiration. So for maximum effect, close your eyes for this one. This is Marrakech.
Awesome.
Thank you, folks. I'll see you after the break. If you want to pick up a CD or a t-shirt, I'll be over there.